Yes.
Oh my, I'll just go ahead and get started. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadameyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासति गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम. So we are continuing to read teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Narada replied, "Yes, I'm sorry. I have come to you to find my own path, just to inquire from you. But I have seen that there are many boars and deers and rabbits on the path, and they are lying on the forest floor, flapping before death, half dead. Who has committed these sinful acts?" The hunter replied, "What you have seen is all right. It is done by me." Then Narada said, "If you are hunting all these poor animals, why don't you kill them at once? You have killed them, and they are flapping in death pains. This is a great sin. If you want to kill any animal, why don't you kill it completely? Why do you leave it half killed and allow the animal to die flapping?" The hunter replied, "My dear Lord, my name is Mrigari, the enemy of the animals. According to the teachings of my father, I have been raised to half kill the animals by leaving them flapping. When a half dead animal flaps, I take great pleasure in that." Narada then implored the hunter, "I beg one thing from you, and please accept it." The hunter replied, "Oh, yes, sir. I shall give you whatever you like. If you want some animal skins, come to my home. I have so many skins of animals, tigers and deers. Whatever you like, I shall give you." Narada replied, "I do not want such things, but I want something else. If you kindly grant it to me, then I shall tell you. Please, henceforth from tomorrow, whenever you kill an animal, please kill it completely and don't leave it half dead." The hunter replied, "Oh, my dear sir, what are you asking of me? Why are you asking this? What is the difference between half killing and killing completely?" Narada replied, "If you half kill the animals, then they suffer too much pain. And if you give too much pain to other living entities, it is a great sin. When you kill an animal completely, there is much offense, but it is not so great as that accrued by half killing an animal. In other words, pain which you give to the half dead animals will have to be accepted by you also in some of the future births awaiting you." Although the hunter was very sinful, yet in association of a great devotee like Narada, his mind became softened and he was afraid of the sins. Those who are grossly sinful are not afraid at all of committing sins. But here we can see that because his purification began in the association of a great devotee like Narada, he was afraid of his sinful activities. The hunter therefore said, "My dear sir, from my childhood I have been taught to kill animals like that. So would you kindly tell me how could I get rid of all the offenses and sinful activities which I have committed? I am surrendering unto your feet. Please save me from all the reactions of my sinful activities in the past and just direct me in the proper path so that I can be free." Narada replied, "If you actually want to follow my direction, then I can tell you the real path of being freed from these sinful reactions." The hunter agreed and told Narada Muni, "Whatever you direct, I shall follow without any hesitation." Narada then asked him to first break his bow and then he would disclose the path of liberation. The hunter replied, "You're asking me to break my bow, but if I break it, then what will be the means of my living?" Narada replied, "Don't worry for your living. I shall send you sufficient grain so that you can live." Thereupon the hunter broke his paw and fell down to the feet of Narada. Narada got him to stand up and instructed him, "Just go to your home and whatever money and valuables you have there, distribute amongst the devotees and brahmanas, and just come out without uh, me wearing only one cloth. Just construct a small thatched house on the bank of the river and sow the tulsi plant by the house. Just circumambulate the tulsi tree, and every day taste one fallen leaf, and always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So far your living is concerned, I shall send you the required grains, but you will only accept as much grain as you require for yourself and your wife." Narada then relieved the half-dead animals. After getting free from dreadful condition, they fled away. By seeing the miracle executed by Narada, the black hunter was struck with wonder, and after taking him to his home, he again bowed down to his feet. Narada returned to his place, and the hunter, after returning to his home, began to execute the instructions which Narada had given him. In the meantime, the news spread among all the villages that the hunter had become a devotee, and therefore the residents of the villages came to see the new Vaishnava. It is a custom of persons following the Vedic way of life to bring some grains or some fruits whenever they go to see some saintly person. All the villagers saw that hunter now had turned into a great devotee, and they began to bring eatables. So every day he was offered grains and fruits, so much that no less than 10 to 20 people might eat there. But according to Narada's instructions, he did not accept anything more than what he required to live on for both himself and his wife. What's further down, Prabhu? Let me see how much more is left. Okay. Okay, I'll just go one more paragraph then. After some days had passed, Narada, I think I'll just stop here. Yeah, let's just stop here. So, very beautiful story, right? For Mrigari the hunter. I mean, we have heard this story in the past too, right? It's just so beautiful to see how the guidance and the instructions of a spiritual master can completely change your life. That's really clearly this example is given with Mrigari the hunter, that he was such a sinful person. He was already like he's explaining in this, right, that I was always given the instruction that you have to half kill the animals. Can you imagine like the suffering, the pain that the animal is going through? And even today, right, I mean, it is just with all the animal killing and everything that we see, like really there's nothing, people don't even think about any of those emotions, like what the animals are going through. But yeah, with Mrigari the hunter, it is amazing to see how he listened to Srila Narada. He listened to Narada Muni, took his instructions, and he completely changed his life. From being such a sinful person, he became a devotee. And like Narada Muni said, you just live a simple life. You don't need so much for that to living a devotional life. And his needs were automatically being taken care of, because as we saw that when he changed into a devotee, all the villagers, everybody had the change of attitude towards him, and they were bringing all of the grains, food, and everything else that was needed for him to continue with this life. So, just a very important lesson for us also in our life, that very important to look at ourselves and what is it that we really need, right? Ultimately, our focus is bhakti, our Krishna consciousness. And then for those of us who have already taken shelter from our spiritual masters, really following the instructions, following the lessons, and as much as possible getting purified in our own lives in this lifetime. So with